This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, back with another one. Today we are breaking down a heated conversation involving Michael Irvin, Cameron, and Mase as they react to comments from Jeanie Buss about LeBron James. So let's check this clip out.
I've seen Jeanie Buss now because it seems like you said, LeBron's getting a little older. He's still out there busting. But I've seen something with Jeanie Buss now that she's probably not the majority owner anymore, saying a few things how she feels. She said she didn't feel LeBron James was humble or happy enough, I can't remember which word she used, about them getting Bronny. Like, basically, he didn't show enough gratitude. What do y'all think about that?
I like them kind of comments. I ain't gonna lie. I like when you hold accountable. I just do. I think we're all better when you hold accountable. I think he should have been very grateful. That was not that Bronny shouldn't be in the league, but that was like a dream come true. When somebody make your dreams come true, you gotta be humble about that. I don't say that out of no Uncle Tom, and just real simple. That's a dream comes true. That's something we're never gonna forget as long as we watch basketball in history, that somebody was that great that they actually got to the place where their son could play on the same team. And to think about the stops they had to pull to make sure that this happened, I can see a person of power really want another person of power to show them some humility and some gratitude in that. I could definitely see that, because you got to remember, Boston had the pick. Boston would have picked Bronny, and I actually think he would have turned out better if Boston picked him. But so when it comes to that, should be a lot of gratitude.
And LeBron talked about that being his dream. LeBron talked about that being one of the most important things for him. You know, so if your organization, you shared that with your organization, and they delivered that, then there should be some gratitude there. Now, let me go on the other side. Compare that to, because I know brothers start saying, oh, we're playing. Ain't he playing on the court forward? Ain't he doing. Compare that to the other man that we always compare him to, which is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan couldn't get the team owner and that organization to even leave the championship team together for one more year and not get rid of the coach that they wanted.
Yeah.
So, and he had delivered all. You see what I mean? It's amazing for what they did. And yeah, LeBron should be, if he meant what he said, when he said it was one of the most important things in his life, then yeah, they made that dream come true. Something your money couldn't buy you, they made come true.
This whole conversation is wild because both sides actually make strong points. On one hand, making someone's lifelong dream happen is a big deal, especially when sacrifices were made behind the scenes. On the other hand, gratitude is not one size fits all, and nobody has clearly said what LeBron failed to do.
Yeah, gratitude is deserved.
And not to also
appreciation is deserved.
Discount. There was a few players that had to be waived, and decisions had to be made about other people's careers that made this possible. Right. So there was a lot that went into this.
So
I have thoughts.
So hold on, let me.
Yeah, I know Stat don't feel that, but if that was her son that got drafted, if your son was All-American, if your son was McDonald, if your son was a lottery and he goes to the Lakers and this happened with your son, you wouldn't have cared that it was LeBron.
Well, Mason's going to say I got friends and I'm picking and choosing this, that, and the third, but I don't care what Mace said. Because my thing is this. We don't know what Jeanie Buss's definition of gratitude is. What if he bought her a car? What if he gave her flowers? What if he came everywhere he went and he couldn't show up for one thing? And then she'd be like, see, don't care that we got his son on the team. What's gratitude? What did he do?
I like
this
that.
is what I'm saying.
I like that. I like that. I like
what didn't he do? I don't wish your definition of gratitude, Jeanie, but so I'm not doing that. You got to tell me
right.
he may have been 10 things she wanted him to do, and he did 9. So now he's not gracious enough. I want to know. I would have been like, what exactly
is gratitude?
Didn't say.
That's a good point.
Because this is the top line, and then you throw the bus. Now I can see if was like, yo, get Bronny. They get Bronny, and then like, all right, good looking. I'll see you later, and don't speak to. I don't know what the definition of gratitude is.
The conversation between Michael Irvin and Cameron, with Mase centers on the debate surrounding LeBron James, Jeanie Buss, and the idea of gratitude after the Lakers drafted Bronny James, fulfilling what LeBron publicly described as one of his greatest dreams. Michael Irvin largely supports Jeanie Buss, arguing that when an organization goes out of its way to make a personal dream come true, especially one that required difficult roster moves and career-altering decisions for others, there should be clear humility and appreciation shown. He frames this not as criticism, but as accountability, emphasizing that this moment is historic and something that could never be bought. Irvin also contrasts LeBron's situation with Michael Jordan's, pointing out that Jordan never received that level of organizational accommodation despite delivering championships. On the other side, Cam and Mase push back by questioning what gratitude actually means and who gets to define it. They argue that just because appreciation was not publicly visible does not mean it did not exist behind the scenes.